Alright, so got a good connection and we are streaming. So tonight's mission, we're going to be flying an F-16 and so we're tasked with destroying a MANPADS position. Friendlies in the area destroyed an SA-8 and the Soviets deployed their SA-18 shoulder launch SAMs. So we're going to destroy their position at steer point 2 with cluster munitions, and then we're going to go to steer point 3 and destroy some BTR-80s. So pretty straightforward mission, except for the fact that we're attacking MANPADS, and so that's basically a dangerous proposition with conventional bombs. So we'll have to pre-flare as we come in. Now I've loaded up a DTC for this mission where I think my program number 4 will deploy flares only, so that's going to come in handy, I suppose. And so we're flying again from Wiesbaden with my little template. So that's the idea there. So let's click fly. And we've been cleared for startup. And so what I could do now, just for fun, is go here and load the DTE. And it looks like it's done. I guess we can go back to the FCR here. We can see there's something there in the air. And so, as I said here, my program number 4, if I'm in manual, should get me flares. So we'll see if that works once it's needed. And this is my plane here, trying to make it look like the 80s, so I didn't put a joint helmet mounted system. And then you can see that I have 6 CBU-87s and 4 Mark 82s, plus 2 Sidewinders and a fuel tank. So that's the plan here. So we'll just request taxi to runway.
Request taxi to runway.
I did a little bit of testing earlier because I'm not sure that in my DTC I have the comms for the radio that are included. I thought I had worked on that for the template, but no longer sure that it's been done for the F-16. Maybe it's been done for the Hornet, but not the F-16. But I do have my programs that I double-checked for the chaff and flares, so that should make it work for what we need to do. Our friendly soldiers guarding the armory here.
Springfield 1, request takeoff. Springfield 1, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.45.
I guess that's our AWACS and its escorts over there. So we know that we'll have an AWACS. We're fairly heavy with that loadout, so try to get her airborne. Alright, so let's head for our first waypoint. I've switched the comms to something else. I was hoping to get rid of that little beep beep, but I don't know if it's got something to do with the TACANs or something of the sort. We don't have anything entered here. For COM 1, we're going to put it on 264, which should be our AWACS. Let's see if that works.
Magic 1-1, Springfield 1, request bogey dope. Springfield 1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Okay, so we got picture clean. We could turn those lights off. We won't be needing those. Usually I put them on steady, but just turn them off for now. Yesterday the HUD looked too bright, now it looks a bit pale. So let's put on the autopilot, that looks good. Let's check our weapons. So for the Mark 82s, I'm guessing I'll probably drop all of them in one shot with a spacing of, let's say, 66. For my CBUs, I think I'm going to go with ripples of 2 and 100 or 200 spacing, maybe 200 spacing.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 2 at 29,000.
Oh, I guess I made a mistake when I loaded up the plane. So I've got 3 CBU 97s and 3 CBU 87s. That's a big problem. Not a huge problem in the sense that 97s do a better job, but that's just poor planning on my part in the sense that that's not what I wanted. So I guess I'll keep the 97s if we go attack the BTRs afterwards, but first I'll use these. So since I only have 3, I'll ripple 2 and I'll have an extra if I need another one. So yeah, they look alike when you look at them, but it's just because they're using the same dispensers. The 87s drop 202 bomblets for light armor target or infantry, trucks, things of the sort. And the 97s are specialized against armor. Now, Soviets are sending fighter bombers in the area. Engage if possible. Friendlies are in danger. Okay, so it means we've got to do some air-to-air here. anything. Yes, we do have something, Angel 6 there. Let's see if we can light him up. So there is something there. I'm gonna see if I can get behind him if it's a fighter bomber. It's 6,000. I have to be careful not to get too close to the MANPADS position as I'm maneuvering for this guy. Trying to see if it wouldn't be better to go do my attack run on the MANPADS first, but AWACS told me to engage if possible, so we will engage because it's possible. See if we'll spot him visually. Maybe we're a bit far still. Okay, now we see him. It's gonna make it a bit easier to follow him. Autopilot off. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't know we're there. Okay, now he does. He's dropping flares. Looks like an Su-25. And that's a shoot, so we got him. Alright. So now we're getting pretty close to the attack position where we need to go, so have to be careful. Gonna try to climb. Hopefully I don't get shot at while I'm climbing. I see that fire. They said in the briefing that there was an SA-8 that had been shot, so yeah, and I think this is my first target. Let's go check to see if that really is what it needs to be. So we're at 14,000 feet. There's that little fire. Doesn't take much to lose our visual. There it is. Okay, so that should be our target right there. And there we go. So I'm going to try to stay fairly high as I drop these bombs. We're going to pre-flare. Bombs away. And let's see what those... Oh, there's a missile coming at us. And we're hit. That's no good, so we're out of here. Yeah, that attack with the Su-25 sort of ruined my plan for the attack. Let's see. I want to check if the bombs hit before I get out. Oh, so here there's just sandbags left. Let's go on some of those vehicles here, like that. Yeah. Okay, so that was the MANPADS position that fire at us, but they're also dead. So I guess it's a draw. They got my plane and I got their position, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit better than that. So first what I need to do is go back to the editor to give us the correct loadout. And so go back to here, F-16. So this side was what? CBU 87s. This side was the 97s. I want 87s. So that's, yeah, and that's, yeah, and those are still Mark 82s. That's not changing, so that's good. All right, so we'll go with that. So there. Just gonna go check this. This looks like it's working. Yes. And we're gonna go back and try again. Okay, so we got this, this. Alright, so let's get things going. This on manual, this on number 4. I forget if my thing is preloaded or not, so I'm still gonna load it just to be sure. There we go. We'll go back to radar. And this looks like it's on the right frequency, so we could request taxi to runway.
Request taxi to runway. Springfield 1, clear to taxi to runway 8.
Get the nose wheel steering and start to move. So one of the reasons I think maybe the MANPADS got me is that I didn't have a lot of momentum trying to move away. So it doesn't leave a lot of room to the flares to do their work. I don't know. Those MANPADS also, they're pretty accurate most of the time, so maybe I should have dropped them from a little bit higher. I don't know. Speaking of which, now that we have the correct bombs, I'm just gonna set everything up here before we go take off. So those, as I said earlier, we probably will drop them all in one pass. Let's say 66, that looks good. Now we've got 6 of those, we'll drop 4 on the first pass with a spacing 150. That looks good to me. Alright, so this is good. Let's go to our runway. One of the things I've noticed lately on the Cold War Germany map, and I don't know if it's good for other maps, when I request takeoff, it's better when I'm not moving. Otherwise, sometimes the tower doesn't look like it's responding.
Springfield 1, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.45.
So now we know it responded. So I think what I'll try to do is I will try to go drop my bombs on the MANPADS position before I engage the enemy fighter bombers, because I think we would have had time to do it. And it's usually a little bit better when you stick to your original plan. So let's see how this is gonna go. Another thing I didn't necessarily realize planning this mission is that my plane's fairly heavy, which I don't think is a good idea when you're trying to avoid MANPADS. You want to be nimble and fast. Trying to figure out what's that beeping noise. Sometimes it has to do with this system here, I don't know. Doesn't seem to do anything here. When you've got a TACAN that you're connected to, you hear the beep beeps, but I don't have a TACAN connected to this here. There's nothing there, really. What if we say to enter? Does that change anything? No. I think yeah, that's the number for the boom refueler. So I can put that for the TACAN, but that's not what's beeping. So I don't know what's beeping. Something's beeping. Now I've got 2 beeps. Okay, so now I am getting the tanker beeping and another beeping. So I'll switch to that. But what's that other beeping? Let's go with, I don't know, 1183. No, 1183. 0. That gonna work? Nope. Okay, so I haven't solved the mystery of the beeping in my F-16. somebody knows, you can let me know in the comments. But I'm not too sure why this is happening. In some planes you have volumes that you can adjust for that. I'm afraid if I turn down the volume I'm gonna lose my RWR things and whatever else. Is that coming from COM 2? No. Is it coming from COM 1? No. Coming from that. So I don't know. So now we've got the SU-25, but as I said, I'm going to switch waypoints and I'm going to go try to hit my MANPADS first. So that if we know where it is and we go hit it early, maybe we won't be as worried as we were a little bit before. And I think I might have a break in the cloud, so that means I'm gonna climb, try to drop my bombs from up higher, which will make my bombing a little bit less precise, but I'm dropping 4 bombs. I hope I can hit the target with 4 bombs, especially those cluster munitions, which cover a pretty big area. So now I should be able to dive on the target. Is that a high enough dive? No, I don't like it. I'm going to climb a little bit more. Oh, and now we have clouds again. Okay, so now we've got speed. Oh yeah, that looked good. This time I was high enough. Alright, so let's switch to air-to-air. Let's see if we can get that guy down there. Might actually have to go with the dogfight mode. That's visual. Thought I had found something. So, this. Okay, I got mixed up in my buttons here. There we go. Let's get the lights off. Gonna have to train for dogfight with the F-16 because clearly I'm not doing super well with it. Okay, so there he is. AWACS 2. He's seen me.
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
Yeah, that should work. Hopefully we don't get the sun. There. Did he eject? I'll drop a few flares of my own just in case. Looking for a ground impact or something. Okay. That's what I wanted there. Let's get on the AWACS channel. I love it when I hit the wrong buttons. There we go. And now AWACS. 025. Yeah, there's something there. Okay. Okay, so the SU-25, that was him. That's where he crashed. Is that a false echo or is that something else? Yeah.
Altitude.
False echo.
Altitude.
There is something else around here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Okay, there it is. It's a helicopter. It's not a huge threat, but
Altitude. Altitude.
where did the chopper go?
Pull up.
It was right here. I got confused with my mouse. Yeah, I'm really gonna need to practice dogfight modes with the F-16 because I've forgotten everything how it works. Now this helicopter is hiding in the hills here somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. I've managed to turn on the bore sight mode, but if I don't see it, it's gonna be hard to lock that helicopter. So I think we're just gonna leave it, and we're gonna move to the next waypoint, which is where our BTRs are, before we run out of fuel. Speaking of that, we'll jettison our empty tank. Radios, there we go. Wanted to show a nice this like that. Okay, so we've got 2 CBUs left, but I think I'm gonna go with the 82s for our BTR targets. Now what I want is to have an idea of where they are. There. So we have a fire that's probably from that SAM that had been hit. It's a helicopter. I'm not going after it because I'm not very good with these things, apparently. Alright, that looks like it might be, yeah, there's a position there with tents and trucks and vehicles. I think they're along the road here, so I'm gonna try to line up with the road to drop my bombs. So we'll move away and come back. Air to ground I know I can still do pretty much with my eyes closed. So hopefully we can do that. So we'll line up these vehicles and big goal, bombs away. Let's see what those bombs will do. That looks pretty good. And I still have some CBUs. So what I'll do is I'll switch to the CBUs and we'll finish them off. Bombs away.
Caution. Caution.
Oh, and it looks like there was like some AAA shooting at me here. Switch back to that here. Done for the air to ground. go for that helicopter. I need the training. I'm really bad at the air-to-air stuff, close range. So, AWACS, give me info. Can you do that?
Magic 1-1, Springfield 1, request bogey dope. Springfield 1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Okay, so he's giving me clean. Now let's see. It's still flying. Just want to see. I think we're over Fulda here. Yeah. Okay. So we were heading in the right direction. It's just we didn't see it on the radar because something. So here's what we're gonna do.
Altitude. Altitude.
Gonna hope to get it in our bore sight somewhere here.
Altitude. Altitude.
And that didn't help. So we're gonna cheat. There it is. Okay. Let's try this again. My radar's a bit too long range, I think, for picking up the bogey. I'm making circles around it. Let's go back to bore sight. Is it here somewhere? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Yeah, it's probably laughing very hard right now. Ah, there it is. Doesn't want to lock? Well then, no wonder. Is something wrong with my plane? Or maybe it's just in my head. Yeah, there's something I don't understand about the short range game.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 6 at 29,000.
Okay, there it is. I can see it. yellow field there.
Pull up.
It should be locking up now.
Pull
At
up.
least I hit it. There we go. Now it's going to be just a distant memory to forget about. Now, we're pretty low on fuel. So we're going to get rid of that air-to-air mode. See where we are. I think we have a refueler nearby. That was kind of weird though that I went from no rad to having the bore sight cross right on the helicopter and it didn't lock it. That's really weird to me. So in front of me there's something at Angels 18, and if I'm not mistaken it's my refueler. So we'll set this to 3.5, which is the boom thing. Then we'll click that, TACAN. I just want to see if the arrow, yeah, the arrow's there. So that means it's probably pointing at our refueler, which should be at 18,000. We'll fly a little bit left of where it is so that we intercept it. Technically, I could make it to base without too much problem, but since we're practicing stuff, why not practice our air refueling as well? And then we could turn the lights on, and then comp 2, we'll set it to 135. Oh, it's 135,000. Let's try that with 00 like this. Does that work? 135. Tanker. Is it Texaco or Shell? Texaco. Okay. Texaco.
Bingo.
Texaco 5-1, Springfield 1, request rejoin.
I can see him. Do I have the right frequency? 135, yeah. 135.
Texaco 5-1, Springfield 1, request rejoin. Springfield 1, Texaco 5-1, proceed to pre-contact at 18,000 at 240.
Okay, so at least that's working. On the second attempt. So we have our refueler in front of us. You can see the trap door here is open. So we'll go get a little splash of fuel because it's always fun. So we'll be nice with the tanker and we'll put our master arm off. And now we're getting pretty close. Air brakes out. I'm just bleeding energy with those maneuvers. Try to match its speed.
Ready for contact. Clear contact.
Alright, let's move in. So we've got the altitude. Now he's turning. Oh, great. It's gonna mess up our approach. I'm a bit too far forward. A little bit higher. Not too far forward. Maybe let's, yeah.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
He's toying with me with all those turns. What are you doing, stupid tanker? Choose a direction and go in that direction. Trying to stay in formation with you. How much fuel did we get? Okay, that's no good. Well, what we're at 4,000. That's going to be enough to take us to base.
Abort rejoin.
There we go. Thank you. It's been a horrible flight. I'm getting out of here. Is this? Yeah. I'm gonna need to go to waypoint 5 in that direction. Just gonna change the channel. It's gonna be one less beeping. And then I don't know what the other beeping is, but it's freaking annoying. I guess we could close the refueling door. There we go. So some flights are a little bit better than others. And so that's not going to be one I'm going to remember as a great one. What's that thing on front? That's probably the KC-130 refueler. Yeah, it would make sense at that altitude. Although we don't even see it here. Let's check on the map. Yeah, it's the KC-130. I know which objects I've put in the mission, and so there's this refueler that was being picky with us, and there's this one that's flying over Frankfurt. Those are the AWACS escorts coming back to their base. Those are placeholder planes. Alright. So we've got 22 miles to go. We've got 3,700 of fuel. Put the autopilot on. Let's go see if there's any action going on here. Yes, there are a few people watching, so hopefully you enjoyed the comedy of me trying to get a hit on a helicopter and then trying to get some fuel. I did get enough to go back to base, so that's going to be alright, but I think I'm going to have to check first of all how to operate the dogfight mode in the F-16, because I think I've got a few of my buttons confused with the Hornet, which I've been flying more of lately. And the F-16, I'm used to having AMRAAMs and having a helmet display, and without it, like, you look like this and you can't look at the bandits or the ground targets, so it's a little bit different. You have to use your HUD. But it's not really an excuse. The systems should work unless there's something wrong from one of the recent patches, which sometimes happen, so maybe I'd have to go check some of the forums. Okay, so I guess that's our airfield right there. And so slow down a little bit. And if I remember correctly, for the airfield, it's 11810. There we go. Let's call the airfield and say we're coming in.
Springfield 1, inbound.
Altitude.
Springfield 1, flying heading 270, Fort 1, QFE 29.45, runway 08, to pattern altitude. Magic 1 point, passing waypoint 2 at
Altitude.
29,000.
So we'll get the gears down.
Springfield 1, cleared for visual, contact tower. Springfield 1, request landing.
Let's raise the seat a little bit to help us see the runway. Get our feet on the pedals.
Springfield 1, check landing gear, runway 08.
Let's try to make a nice Air Force landing. Got a lot of trees to clear here, I noticed in some of my recent landings. Touchdown. We're gonna try to slow this thing down. Curious if there's a taxiway here that goes. Yes, there it is, a taxiway that goes back to the parking areas. Went a little bit longer than usual on this landing. I wanted to clear the trees. And then I did like some aerodynamic braking, but that takes a little bit longer on the runway. Now why the curve here? In the yellow line? I'm not too sure. bring my seat back to the original height. So yesterday we went to park in front of the hangar. Today I'm going to park in this nice little circle here. Let's try that. That should look pretty good, right? That's nice enough for me. We'll get the air brakes back in. We'll tell the ground crew to put the wheel chocks.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
And poof! We're going to end this one on that note. So I guess that's the joys of doing live performances. Sometimes they go really well, sometimes they go so-so, sometimes not so well. Well, I guess on my first try I got shut down. Second try I couldn't get the air-to-air working properly. So it means I'm going to have to practice that aspect with the F-16. With the air-to-ground everything goes okay. I'm not ever worried about my air-to-ground capabilities. But air-to-air, I'm going to need some training, I believe. So yeah, we did fire just about everything we could fire with the airplane. All the missiles are gone for the air-to-air. The bombs are all gone. We've dropped our tank. We've fired our gun. So there. All part of the learning process, I suppose. So I hope you enjoyed the little live. Cool handout.